Put your fucking hands up. Put your fucking hands up.
Go, go! Your lady needs you. Go! Today, I repay my debt.
And now, WWE presents the Royal Rumble.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Friday Night's Royal Rumble, and I feel like my soul's dead.
Why is that?
I just got done watching the Barbie movie, the end of Secret Invasion, and the end of The Witcher Season 3.
Oh, dear God in heaven. All in one day?
You gotta pace
All
yourself.
in the last couple of hours. And hello to Joker voice.
Oh, wow.
Ryan, do you want a Whopper?
I'm not even that crazy. Shut up, Shadow.
That's insanity on a level that, wow.
Even I can't comprehend it. They don't even have a wing in Occam for anyone that nuts.
I can see it.
And
Shut up,
welcome-
Shadow.
Well, welcome to Kat the Hijabi Gamer.
Hi, it's Friday. Yay.
Which means, let me guess, a weekend of video games.
What?
Maybe.
Are you sure?
Are you sure?
Well, I mean, you say it every week. I'm just assuming that this week is no different.
Are you assuming? Yeah, you're right. You're right. Never mind. You're
Okay,
right.
thank you.
I'll say she's got nothing. And hello, Nomi.
Hi, I'm happy to be here. Yeah.
After a wonderful stream last night, which was more of a therapy session.
Yes, it was. And then the fact that we stopped for like a brief moment to talk about which Harry Potter houses,
Yes.
which Hogwarts houses like we belong to. So yeah, it was a well-needed talk.
Lastly, and certainly not least, Shadu.
Who?
I am so happy to be at the start of a Royal Rumble. It's been
Right,
so
Boosh?
freaking long.
Right, Boosh? Exactly.
Hey, take it over with Ryan. All
Let's-
complaints go to him.
Let's say hi to Shadu. He says first suck it Kohai and Shadu. I don't know why he's telling himself to suck it, but okay.
Fuck that Shigadu guy.
Kohai says, "Oh no, Shadu is first. However, shall I survive? Oh wait, I know how. By making
Hey,
wonderful
boss.
memes of him." And what's up there, Spock? And then of course we got Potato Reverend. He says first on JV's stream.
Which I will be over on his channel at 7 p.m. So that'll
Nice.
be fun.
Samuel, who is going to be on the panel here pretty quickly, says, "Hail, motherfucking Royal Rumble." Mr. Dystopian says, "Let's go." Potato Revan says, "Since I'm first, Joker must give me all his shoes and hats as tribute."
Not happening.
Do you really want that? I don't think
All right.
you know where they've been.
Strive
Howdy,
420
Strive.
says, peace.
Look,
Mr. Sullivan, treat yourself to the Mario Brothers movie, dude.
Yeah, you need it.
You need a good
Yeah.
laugh.
Remember, only person Joker is scared of is the IRS.
I just don't pay him.
Rocky the Black Dragon says, hey, everyone, what's up? Boosh says, why is Shadow here? That would be Shadu. Why is Shadu here?
Right.
He corrects himself. Don't worry.
Yeah, I just saw that. He,
Should do.
the Bayou Geeks, evening good people. What is up? I like that name. That's cool. Boosh says, hell, JV, hi, Ryan, Nomi, Hijabi, and Shadu. Got to really emphasize the Shadu.
Shadu.
So, I don't know where to start.
It's all bad.
It's all bad.
It's all bad.
Everything's on fire.
I just
So,
looked at the title for the first time.
so for those of you who watched it, who enjoyed Captain Targaryen?
No one. No one did.
No one liked
Even
it.
the critics who rated this a 13%, the lowest Marvel Studios Disney Plus show episode rating
Howdy,
of
Tully.
all. Hey, Tully.
Hey,
What's up there, Telly? How you doing? Appreciate it. Yes. Well, apparently the director has some things to say, and I'm sure it's going to be all good, right?
No.
I mean,
oh, yeah.
Well, let's see. The director, when he signed on, they told him, "Don't read the comics."
Yep.
Much like a certain director of a pink Pepto-Bismol nightmare of a film knows nothing about Barbie.
Yeah.
or
Yeah, that's a good point.
Halo, or any of it, because none of them know anything about what they're writing about.
Because it's never about the subject matter.
Nope.
I mean, they know one thing. It'll
How to-
bring in the nerds and it'll get.
No, this didn't. But that's
This
just
one didn't.
okay. Shadow. Not one Disney Plus show has has reached over 3 million viewers.
I mean, in general.
Okay, not one. The highest it got was Loki, which Disney Plus had far fewer subscribers then. It's not. It's the distribution, the ratio of subscribers to views is getting worse. It's not even holding steady. It is worse. It is driving the audience away.
Yeah, not even.
No, it's
I mean, the only reason. Sorry,
Go ahead, Kat. Go ahead.
I
Sorry.
was just gonna say the only reason people watch Loki was because of Hiddleston. That's about
Correct.
it.
Correct.
Basically.
Well, let's see what the wonderful director Ali Salem says about the season finale and reacts to the mixed reviews. Great. Okay.
Mixed reviews.
Yeah, mixed reviews. That's what it says. This is
There was
this
one
is from
person
Variety.
who liked it. There was one person who liked it in a sea of 10,000. That means it's mixed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy
Thanks,
has
Dad.
no idea what mixed means.
Shut up.
Thanks, Dad. All right, here we go. God, this is going to be dribble because Ali Salem, an executive producer, directed all 6 episodes of the show, which adapted a popular Marvel Comics, which they didn't read, run that plays on the audience's paranoia. Quote, Secret Invasion asks, what if the characters you thought you knew and loved were instead alien invaders? AKA Skrulls, an alien race introduced in Everybody Nobody Cares 2019's Captain Marvel. Yay.
Okay, now the comic book run. It was you actually because the Skrulls weren't just normal everyday people or government officials. They were superheroes. You had Skrull Cap, Skrull Wolverine, Skrull Spider Woman, who was the Skrull Queen. So
Yeah. And going from where I know the story from, the Avengers the Earth's Mightiest Heroes show from like the early 2000s, it took like a full season for them to build up the scroll. Like, you didn't even know what was going on until like midway through season 2, and even then, you didn't know that even Nick Fury had been compromised by the Skrulls, and suddenly, boom, every single major agency is being run by the Skrulls. Every single team of superheroes has at least one Skrull member who's been breaking them apart and ripping them to pieces, and it's a Darkest Hour moment, and it builds up to it. This is just, hey, Skrulls are here, and we're going to solve it within 6 episodes. It doesn't do this kind of plotline justice, because it just happens too fucking fast.
Or, yeah, as we could call it, drivel.
Cannoli!
Howdy, Cannoli.
Hey.
What up there, Mr. Cannoli Sasquatch?
Hi.
And
Hey,
Dempsey.
Dempsey's in here. Hello, sir.
Mugsy's here?
Mugsy Kid says, howdy,
Hey.
folks. How are the hats?
I haven't
capped?
opened them because I was gonna open them on the live stream tomorrow. I haven't even opened yet.
Well, sounds like you need to. What are you doing? So, all right, let's I'm gonna skip down to the bottom here because we're gonna start talking.
Okay,
You want me to open?
Mr. Dystopian actually said it best. Probably go back and watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., the better
I
show.
like that show.
I just said it's a better show. Now shut up.
Yeah.
That's very true.
Yeah.
Actually.
Boosh says, "Can we do spoils? I got spoils. You can
Yeah.
spoil whatever the fuck
Let's
you want."
spoils. Let's do spoils, Boosh.
Yeah,
The
nobody
greatest-
cares.
This show created the deadliest, most powerful character in the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yes.
And
They
guess
did.
what? Guess what? It's a girl boss. Of course it is. Because MCU.
Yeah, it is. All right, let me.
And the most dangerous person on the planet is also a woman. Now, to be fair, that the woman was played by Olivia Colman, who was by far the best part of the entire series.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree with that.
She was wonderful. I just couldn't help stop but hearing Mama Bear from Puss in Boots in every scene she is in, because she is the voice of Mama Bear as well.
Yeah, she did a great job too.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's funny. Yes, Potato Revan. Yes, it does.
Yes.
I'll show you. We're
That's
not gonna play it, but I'll skip through the CGI so you can see it here in a second. But okay, so the director and this part, here we go. Great. A tightly packed finale, really. Focuses on the last stand of the great Nick Fury, if you say so. A phrase that Gravik, the show's villain and the leader of the Skrull Rebellion, bellows when the two men face off one last time. Spoiler alert, it's not Nick Fury.
No.
But it's got Emilia Clarke's Gaia, to where they immediately gas themselves and become Super Skrulls, or as I like to call Emilia Clarke's character, she becomes Captain Targaryen, because she basically inherits all the Avengers, including the Guardians of the Galaxy's powers. I don't understand.
Okay, this is why. Because the entire point of the Harvest was during the battle for Earth at the end of Endgame. A lot of blood was spilled, so they went and collected blood samples. How you could differentiate whose blood is whose, don't know. They don't answer that. But it's very important that the storytellers let you know that one of the people who spilled blood at the Battle for Earth was Carol Danvers, which is not true. She never bled there.
Nope.
So there's no blood sample of her anywhere. But they want you to know. So you've got So as you saw an arm from like Cull Obsidian. You saw
Howdy, Keely.
you saw an
Hey,
arm.
Keely.
You saw an arm from Korg, who's rock. There is no blood in Korg; it's rock.
Yep.
So then you got Jotunheim Frost Giant powers. There wasn't a Frost Giant there, but
What the fuck?
yeah,
There's-
Groot,
Where'd that come
Drax,
from?
the Hulk,
Yep.
and then Revan. Ew. Okay, and
Oh man.
now
Well, Josh and I talked about that like last week with Roman, where like how else would anybody else get blood from her? Well, she was probably having a menstrual cycle. So
What's up there, D-Day?
Also,
I mean,
boss, Loki
that
wasn't
might,
there.
I mean, that might have explained a few things. I'm just saying.
yeah,
Okay, guys, gross. No, but as far as the Jotunheim Frost powers, they had showed in an earlier episode that they had a sample from the Frost Beast that came to Earth at the end of Thor 2. You guys, yeah,
Boosh is already going hard over here.
yeah, he's. Oh boy. Okay,
Oh.
so but yeah, so this is where they get all these powers from. They got everybody Ma from on the Thanos' side. It's just I don't know.
Yeah.
Mantis is used in there, and the all of a sudden they have these powers. They have complete mastery of them instantly. Hey, love it.
Hey, love it. What's going on?
hi.
And
Magic.
also, there's also the Extremis from Iron Man 3, which instantly heals, and until you need someone to die, and then they can't heal themselves. But that's fine.
Then you just blow a hole through them, right?
Which is weird because 2 episodes earlier, the same guy had half his face blown off, and it healed instantly.
Yeah.
So,
So,
are you asking for logic from these people?
So here's the question that Variety asked the director: what have you made of the reaction to the series overall? Because reviews have been mixed. Oh, and he says, "Oh, I don't read reviews. With all due respect, for me, I view all the storytelling work I do as a dialogue with an audience. When the show is finished and put up on screen, that's my half of the dialogue, and the audience then starts their half of the response to it. I think that's
up to you. Your garbage is trash.
Yeah. I think that's valuable, but I don't know. I don't know how to answer the question. I don't feel bad about mixed reviews. If you had unanimously good reviews, every movie would gross $10 trillion, right?
No.
And I was just being a dick. Projects resonate with different people at different times for different reasons. And Marvel has a very devoted, even rabid fan base who have expectations. When their expectations aren't fulfilled, they move in the other direction. They give it a thumbs down.
That is absolutely not true. Marvel has no audience now.
No, not really.
That's called coming up with excuses other than embracing and accepting the fact that your show sucks. No,
Also,
it's not your fault. It's somebody else's fault. It's not my fault. Of course not. I would never make garbage. I'm a minority. That makes me special.
It's also not just that.
Catriona Rogers Murray says, I don't read the reviews. What the fuck? He sounds like he really is up his own ass. Oh yeah.
It's called copium.
Yeah.
And also, like, he goes, I don't read the reviews. I view it as a dialogue. I present the show, then the fans give their version. By going, it's a dialogue, you're saying that, when I am in a dialogue, I say my part, and then I just completely ignore what the other person has to say, and then say my next part. In other words, you're a fucking asshole. Sorry. Am I allowed to say that on YouTube?
Oh yeah, you can call him a fucking asshole all you
you're
want.
A fucking asshole there.
Because I haven't even. Yeah, there you go, Mr. Dystopian. He sniffs his own farts. I I haven't even come to the asshole part. This last little paragraph is where he becomes a huge prick. I don't know. Is it our job to fulfill their expectations?
Yes.
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 Hey, we are the paying this. Okay, this is what Gary is. This is Gary's main point. Okay, we are not just an audience. We are paying customers.
Yes.
Yeah.
You give the customer what they want. Bottom line.
Well, if you
This
want
is-
to make money.
If you want to make money,
Well, not only that you want to make money, but if you're going to a store to buy a certain item and you talk to the manager like, hey, like this certain item is not here. What can I get? But the manager says like, oh, hey, we can't provide that for you. But here is the Walmart brand version of it. It was like, no, but I still want Fruity Pebbles. I don't want the Walmart brand one. That is not what I want. So you have to give me. Now, if they say they're out of stock, okay, like I can wait, I'm patient. But like we have given Disney so much of our time and our money when we're still getting bad shows, bad writing, terrible direction, and just overall bad, like just an education that we don't need. We just want to be entertained.
On top of that, it's our fault for not liking it because how dare we not like their marvelous? No, they made the perfect
Howdy, Muslim
show,
uncle.
and they made a perfect show, and how dare we not realize that? No, they are not flawed. We are flawed audience for not wanting their perfection.
Well, of course,
Welcome
because
to-
we are
Real
just
quick, Shadow. I just want to say welcome to Wookie Be Bad and your Muslim uncle. Appreciate you guys stopping by. Salams and likes and shares. Thank you very much.
Salam means peace, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
Yes.
Peace to you too, man.
maybe.
Go ahead, Shadow.
Yeah, but to answer your question, we are as dirty peasants. We should be grateful for the scraps of bread they toss at us while they enjoy their parties and their. By the way, where the fuck did that $212 million go? Do we know?
Cocaine.
Yeah,
Probably.
probably.
Their gowns, their cape, their cape, their cake, their fucking champagne.
The costuming, Shadow. The costuming is like obviously it's not there. So they're putting the money somewhere else where it's not going to the production of the show at all. And you can
I think they're
tell.
just shifting it from one hand to the other.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
So, really quick, let's finish this little lovely comment. Or to tell the story that we're telling. Oh, so basically you're telling us that it's your story and we should like it regardless and just suck it up. So it's a tricky thing. No, not really. You just do what the audience wants. You adapt the source material
It's
and
not
you
hard.
leave everything else the fuck alone. I would love it if everybody loved it, but I also don't have that expectation of myself. Basically saying, I'm not going to do what you want so you can kick rocks. So I feel great about the response to it. Basically just saying, I don't care what you think, and I feel good that I pissed you off.
Yeah, which if the goal of this show wasn't to draw in subscriber, like if it was just, hey, here's the thing I made, tossed it out into the ether, that's fine. But that's not what you're trying to do. You are trying to make money. You are trying to draw in the audience. Like Nomi said, you got to provide the service people want. And when your stocks are down, when you're not making money, when you're bleeding money, and you start bitching, why the fuck is that happening? Maybe you should consider it's because you're a piece of shit who doesn't listen to the other side of the dialogue, as you put it.
Wow.
Minority.
They say,
Shadow.
Hey, just for the record, it's not cocaine. Cocaine makes good movies.
And books, if Stephen King.
Just witness the 80s. That's all I'm saying.
You're not wrong.
I agree with that, actually.
But minority
But minorities.
make perfect shit.
This is
Well-
the only minority I care about. Mutants.
To kind of give us a little bit of a heads up of what this looks like, I'm not going to play the whole thing. I'm going to skip through it. So here we have the Super Skrulls fighting. This is Captain Targaryen, and then of course this is Gravik, and they're tussling, and it looks terrible. And then of course a superhero pose. She has to sit there and pose like Captain Marvel.
Because you've always got to be reminded that Veers is the most bestest.
Also,
Oh, thank you, Dempsey.
Also, because at the same time, this leads into the Marvels, even though the Marvels have been delayed.
Mm-hmm.
Just real quick. Does anybody else hear this like weird lisp coming from Ryan?
No,
Say a
It's
bunch
probably
of
a-
S's.
No.
You made him self-conscious now.
Say S.
shut up, dude.
See, shut up. Shut up.
Are you
Starts with
saying
S.
he has a list?
I mean, I can't even really do a lisp now.
That's so mean.
See, I was actually worried it's me because again,
Okay,
some of
sweetie.
the pipes are on.
That's
Yeah.
pipes don't make a lisp sound when they're
No,
talking.
like if there was actual background noise and he was blaming Ryan.
Yeah, Samuel.
Hey, Bosch, Ryan's not a homosexual, okay?
That's not what he said last night.
Dear God.
He's not as straight as the pole he was dancing on last night.
Hey,
Oh, why are we going back? Wait, why am I not at the bottom?
I don't know. Look,
Do you
superhero.
want to be?
You,
wanna
yeah,
be
do you
the
want
bottom?
you
No,
wanna
but
be?
Power
people
bottom?
typically bitch when I'm not.
It's so terrible.
Y'all
Howdy,
heard
Zenny.
it here first. Shadu wants to be the power bottom.
Mm-hmm.
That's not at all what I fucking said.
It sure sounded like it. All right, I'll stop. I came in a little bit gayer than usual. My apologies.
What's Strive says, oh my. What's up there, Zenny Biscuit? How you
Hey,
doing?
Zenny.
Hey,
It's super
Sandy.
That,
Like,
Dempsey's.
it's Shadu. It's not Twinkerbell. It's Shadu.
Oh,
I'm-
no.
No.
Samuel,
Don't-
judgment
don't
call.
Apologize.
I mean, why not both? Tinkerbell Shadu has a ring to it.
Tinkerbell should do.
I do like that. It rolls off the tongue.
That sounds like an
It's not the
actual
only thing his
character, which
tongue's
is the
rolling on.
worst part. That sounds like something you would encounter in like a Tinkerbell reboot.
That's
Oh,
why we
God.
said.
A Tinkerbell motherfucker.
Wow.
You all right over
You know
there?
what? That was totally
I'm-
worth it.
I know,
Hey,
right?
Sam.
I'm losing my own mind.
I've already lost it.
So, JV, I showed some stills and less than probably 5 seconds of Secret Invasion. So, any kind of thoughts you and Nomi want to add, because you guys are probably the only other ones that watched it.
I will just repeat what I said last night at the end of Roman's Roman's show. I have watched every Disney Plus Marvel show. They've been valuable for content, but there have been moments where they've done something well. I stated the first 5 episodes of WandaVision are probably the most creatively ambitious that Marvel has done. There were moments in Hawkeye where Kate actually has somewhat of an arc, and there were some actually genuine tender moments when Clint is talking about his kids or talking to his kids.
Mhm.
And even in Ms. Marvel is probably the most positive family dynamic that we've seen from anything out of Marvel
Agreed.
at all.
Mhm.
But the show quality just keeps going down and going down and going down and going down, and they've lost their audience to the point to where it's just apathy now.
Mhm.
People have stopped caring.
Case in point, right here, me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I appreciate you going out and being willing to watch it, so I don't have to. But I wasn't going to watch it in the first place, so
Right.
you're kind of jumping on that grenade for no reason, at least as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Well, there are folks.
Dempsey, I had a lisp growing up. There's no shame in it.
Ah, well, I heard it right there.
Telling you, there's
I heard it.
Do we have a list? There we go.
Did your boyfriend knock your teeth out, Ryan, or something?
Wow.
Hey, Ryan, have you been using soy milk recently?
It's got that steel-plated tea bag going on.
It has to be an audio thing.
Yeah, at this point, I'm
I
really
heard
just
it
saying
too
this
just
shit
now.
because it's making Nomi laugh.
I don't hear.
Ryan, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
For
try
what?
and unhear it now, Nomi.
Wait, say that again, Samuel.
Try and unhear it now.
I know I can't. It's going to be ingrained in my brain forever.
Tell me else if you're much for it. Howdy, D-Day Direwolf.
I beat a dire wolf.
So
What do you think
Nomi-
about that, Nomi?
So Nomi, any
It's funny. But yes, what's up, JD?
so
About
do,
the-
do you want to put the do you want the last word on Secret Invasions so we can actually put this thing out of bed?
Yeah, I will put the nail in the coffin on this one because it was dead to me from the start. It wasn't climactic. There was just like no adventure to it at all to this
Yeah.
show. It brought no anticipation to it. It didn't build to anything where you're anxious about something or looking forward to it. It was just flatline story. And we talked about it last night with Roman's channel where it would have been, I think it would have had more meat to the show if they did a background story of Gravik, like how he killed that person that he's using that person's face
As his form, right?
Yeah, as his form, because he blamed Nick Fury. He's like, it killed me, and it killed every little bit like piece of my heart that I had to kill because I had to prove it to you. And he was the first person I killed, so I took his identity. So it would have been cool to see that background story of who that person was, like because he had a family, he had a wife and kids. Would have loved to see it. And also Olivia Colman, great actress, love her so much. But I would have loved to learn a little bit more. Like, why is she in this? Obviously, she's going to be, to me, she's going to be replacing Nick Fury because at the end of the show, she says like, "Oh, us women can do it better than Talos and Fury can do." It's like,
I mean, to
that's
be
disgusting.
fair, you know, a lot of people can do it better than an 80-year-old dude with an eye patch.
There is that, but the show just had no passion. There was no passion in the show. So,
and also it's like even if this show handled like the not passing of the mantle, but like passing of the mantle, for lack of a better way to phrase it.
Stop. Okay, that there are no mantles. Okay, that is a
passing of the torch. Would that be a better way to phrase it?
No,
just
look.
no.
This is the big problem with a lot of this stuff these days, kid, is that they are treating it as though it's a mantle. It's not. Now there are characters who are written that way. The Phantom, for example, comes from a long line, a single line of descendants, each of whom takes on the mantle of the Phantom, because in that case, that's what that is. There's only one fucking Batman.
Correct. Right. There's only one. There's only one captain. There's only one Captain America. It's Steve Rogers.
Even if you get into like legacy villains, like Harry Osborn, for example, was the Green Goblin, but he was not the same character as Norman Osborn.
Correct.
He was a very different character. There was a third Green Goblin, also very different from the first two.
There was also the Hobgoblin. So
there were 3 Hobgoblins. There were at least one Demo Goblin. Like there were a bunch of goblins, but the point is each one of them was different than the last. You know, it wasn't just like some dude wearing the mantle and taking the name. They made it their own. Whereas you get in here with Captain America, they've done this with Captain America repeatedly. This is the MCU is not the first time.
Right.
You know, back when they first introduced U.S. Agent and all that stuff, he was not his own character. Everybody thought he was Steve Rogers. That was his job, was to pretend to be the real Captain America until it came out later that he wasn't.
Right.
Which was a bit of a plot twist, but that was them trying to, slide that. And occasionally you get stuff like that. But for the most part, no. Like there's one fucking Spider-Man. I'm sorry.
I was going to try to, like, that's the point I was going to segue to is like, they've done it so many fucking times and it's shit. Make new characters and stop using existing characters to prop up some freaking like. This is
also what Marvel is going. What the source material that they're using is from the all different Marvel storylines, which started in like 2015. So this is kind of like the new 52s for DC Comics, where you get some changes here and there, but with Marvel, it's so blatant that it's girl bosses, race swaps, gender swaps.
Yeah.
And this is just what they have decided to do. They have hired shitty writers. They hired basically the writing staff from the old writing staff from Rick and Morty, and these folks don't know how to write these type of shows or these type of films. So,
well, that's been like Beard of Liberty brings up in the chat. Miles Morales is Miles Morales. Miles Morales is not Spider-Man. In fact, Miles Morales should not even exist at all. And I'm not saying this in a get rid of diversity kind of way. I'm saying that Miles Morales debuted in a non-canon universe,
right?
The Ultimates universe, right? Where Peter Parker dies, and then Miles steps up to kind of fill those shoes a little bit. But everything about him is redundant. Like his Venom touch, he gets from Spider-Woman. Everything else he gets from Spider-Man. He has an uncle who dies, who sets him on the right path. Doesn't matter that the guy was a villain,
Right.
Eventually, he becomes an orphan, just like Peter Parker. I mean, there's nothing about him that's fucking original, And then they decided to port him over to the 616, and that became a whole thing. But he really should. And same thing with Jonathan Kent, Superman's quote unquote son. Jonathan Kent came from an Elseworlds graphic novel called Son of Superman that was actually pretty good, but it was non-canon, and he was later added in for quote unquote younger audiences, and then of course the pedos aged him up so they could make him gay and all that stuff. But because if you guys remember, just like 4 years ago he was 12 and had been 12 for like 10 years, and then all of a sudden he's 17, which is just old enough to get away with him doing the butt fuck fandango.
Don't like you.
Yeah, but my point is that these characters are not, there's nothing original about them. I mean, the one thing, even Jonathan Kent is not an original character. He's half human, half Kryptonian, which, by the way, genetically doesn't work because they have twice the number of genetic base pairs that we do, but whatever. But this has been done before. Superboy in the 90s, during the reign of Superman, was a clone who was half human and half Kryptonian. The human half came from Lex Luthor, not Lois Lane.
Yeah.
But it's been done before. He has weird and unusual powers that the main Superman does not have because of that mixing and all that stuff. Like, there's nothing original about Jonathan Kent.
Nope.
I actually have a question for JV, Samuel, and anyone else who wants to hop in. Terry McGinnis, what are your thoughts on him?
I feel about, first of all, it's not something I ever got into. I never really watched much of Batman Beyond. What little I did watch seemed okay. But I didn't really get that into it, so I didn't know. But as far as I can tell, I put him in probably the same category as I would Miguel O'Hara.
Okay.
If you guys know who that is.
Yeah. Spider-Man 2099, right?
Yes. Who was 100 years later, but very much his own character.
Right.
Yeah.
I remember Terry McGinnis seems to be very much his own character. It's not so much, I don't see that so much as a mantle as I do a different time.
Right.
I brought sorry, Jamie.
Because they talked about the origins of him in the Justice League cartoon in the episode called Epilogue, where they showed the origins of Batman, or they showed the origins of Batman Beyond, and there was even an episode of Batman Beyond where someone is infecting Bruce's brain during his dreams and calls him and keeps referring to him as Bruce. And at the end, the reason Bruce could break out of it, and it said because he said, in my dreams, I don't call myself Bruce. And Terry's like, oh, I bet you wouldn't, but that's my name now. And Bruce basically says, don't get ahead of yourself.
Yeah.
So Bruce never passes down the mantle of Batman. Bruce will always be Batman.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I'd also point out here too that even the mixed race Spider-Man thing, Miles Morales isn't original on. Miguel O'Hara was half Latino, half Irish,
Mhm.
hmm
and he did it 20 years before.
Real quick, Boo says we have good female heroes or heroines in the MCU. They had flaws, they overcame them. And up here, he says, I man this on. We had a lot of good ones: Natasha, Maria Hill, Pepper Potts, the Ancient One, Lady Sif, etc. All strong, all well written. Yeah, no, I would agree.
I'm gonna actually push back against the Ancient One. The Ancient One was never a Celtic woman. It's
No.
a Tibetan monk.
Yeah, who looked
Yeah.
like a prune.
Yeah.
No, that was definitely a swap.
Also,
nothing
was a dude.
Nothing against Tilda Swinton, but yeah, it was definitely a.
That was so they did that so they could show that film in China.
China.
Yes, that is correct. Because Hollywood always bends the knee to China.
Well,
Yeah,
Disney does.
Again,
Disney
no disrespect to Tilda Swinton. She's a fantastic actress, and she's a very, very good character actress. I don't have an issue with her performance, but I see what you're saying there.
Yeah. Han Chinese, some of the Chinese Communist Party influenced by the dominant culture in China right now, one of the worst groups of people to exist in this day and age.
Kevin, you hear that? You hear that, Kevin?
Oh, you got is Kevin still in the closet, or did you get him a crate?
No,
he doesn't deserve a crate. Yeah, I agree with Dempsey.
Gotcha.
Boo, exactly, boo. Like, and then Suka says China. It's just like it. We're going
China.
Came from China.
China.
We're going to China for response. I love the way he says that. By the way, the China virus. Yeah, no, it's absolutely ridiculous. The way it is now, because it's just so.
GT.
Hey, what's up, buddy? How you doing, man?
Howdy, JT.
It's so overdone that
Howdy, Static.
It's horrible to watch. It really is. It's really bad to watch, and you just don't want to watch it. Like it's a struggle to get through a lot of this stuff right now.
Yeah.
Beer releases. Right now, I don't want any story or property that I enjoy to be made into a movie. I blame it.
I'm with
I
you.
want to see anything I love murdered. Oh yeah.
No, I don't. The putting a man in his place is not a sign of a strong woman, because I noticed more than once it's like so and so the Ancient One put Doctor Strange in place and sets him on. That doesn't mean you. That doesn't just putting a man in his place isn't a strong woman.
Well, the problem isn't that they're putting men in their place, because sometimes a character deserves that. Sometimes they have it coming, and it's and if it's in service of the story and character development, I have no issue with that. The problem is they're doing it just because they can. They're writing this shit in just because they can, not because it fits the flow of the story, not because it serves any kind of narrative purpose. But because it sends a message to the readers who, surprise, surprise, guys, most of the people who read comic books are dudes my age.
Yeah.
Right. And this is it's just more proof of just what what we've been seeing and what we've been saying, and just a little more blatantly obvious this weekend is that these folks are writing these stories for themselves.
Yeah.
Yes.
There is the customer does not factor in to the equation.
Yeah. Which again, like you are like there is no higher existence obligation for you to do exactly what the audience wants. You can do you. Just when the audience gets mad and doesn't give you the money you need to live, don't blame them for your fuck up. It's that simple. You fuck around, you find out. It's positively correlated.
I mean, there's plenty of trades out there that pay a lot better, that would be a bit more of a steady income, and they wouldn't have to worry about this shit. Just saying.
Correct.
You know, they're always looking for more coal miners and truck drivers.
Yeah.
They want to do those jobs. They want to
Well.
be famous.
Oh, of course they don't, because they got most of the people who are in creative arts, industries these days. Most of them share a particular ideology, and that ideology is I want to do what I want to do and have my shit taken care of.
Mhm.
It's nothing to do with work and succeed. Which is the American way. It's always been the American way.
Which I am super glad that these people are being tossed out of the industry and ChatGPT is taking their jobs.
I'm totally with you on that. Hell, I will.
Like-
I don't mind taking that job of overseeing the AI.
Yeah, I don't like the idea of people losing their jobs. Don't get me wrong. I like if a machine comes in and lays off 100 people in a factory, that's fucked. But these particular individuals have ruined shit I love, like this book. They've belittled people. They've belittled people like the people on this panel. They've been absolute assholes about it. And then they decide, you know what? No. We deserve more for being pieces of shit.
Yeah.
And they're getting their comeuppance.
Hang on there, okay? Because the ones who are being very loud about this are generally the ones that they need to be loud about this, because if their performance was based on the merit, they would not have a job. This is why they have unions. The top will always results are the best job security there is. I keep going back to a line from the original Ghostbusters film where Dan Aykroyd said, "I worked in the private sector. They expect results."
Yes.
Well, I just was suddenly thinking because I responded because there's a one YouTuber I really really like, and he's generally has some pretty base takes, but then he's all up into the whole on the side of the strike, and I'm like, I was like, you know what? When Leonard Nimoy first started acting, he did a bajillion different jobs as well. So you know what? I had to say, if you're writing salaries and covering it, get another job.
Agreed. Kilted Cajun says it's time for the squeaky wheels to be replaced. I agree. Absolutely.
Well, you guys, you remember Amanda Miller?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right. So I was listening to. She did an interview with. I can't remember his name. Here, just earlier this week, she did this interview, and she was talking about, like, as a voice actress, which is still acting, right? She's still got to find like 4 or 5 other side gigs just to make ends meet, because it doesn't pay that much. It's like, I don't see this as any different. Teachers have to get jobs in the summertime to make up for that loss in salary, because they're not getting paid over the course of the summer. That's just the way it is. Like, you would think that these guys would have something on the side, because in that industry, right, you can go like years sometimes without ever getting another job, and if you piss people off, you are never going to work again. So it's always good to have a fallback. It's always good to at least keep your hand in the job market a little bit, just in case. Anyway, like a strike or no strike, you never know what's coming down the pike. So I guess my response to these guys is that we don't owe you fucking anything.
No.
Right. If you be more like the ant, not the grasshopper. If you want to survive, then you have to make that happen. You can't wait for somebody else to come along and do it for you. And that's what the strike shit is. It's just like, pay my way for me. That's all it is. And it's sorry.
I'm sorry to say. Go on. I mean,
no, we're good. Go.
But I mean, there are some things that, there are some points that I'm like, okay, that's something I can get behind. The use of AI, I'm fine with let's have actual writers do the writing. Now they want to counter that with, and we want a minimum 8 people in the writer's room, and it's got to be of this diversity. And I'm like, no, you had me here, now you lost me. And they also want more transparency when it comes to streaming numbers and how that revenue gets distributed. They had the same issue when they had the same issue a few years ago with syndication. So this is kind of so I can see where they're like, okay, well, we know that you're lying about streaming numbers and how it comes into subscriptions and that revenue. We know you're lying about those numbers. Just be more transparent about that. I'm fine with that.
The thing is, AI is inevitable. That's the thing. One of the things that I realized
Skynet is inevitable.
Huh? No, it is inevitable. They are, and I hate to say this, and it's going to sound very, very mean. This is going to happen. They are trying to delay the inevitable. Okay, AI is going to get involved in because it's cheaper, it's easier. It's going to happen. You are basically putting off what is eventually going to happen anyway. On top of that, how are you going to control it? I mean, when it comes down to it, you could be having ChatGPT on your phone and then modify it enough so it's still the basis. You don't have to admit you use ChatGPT. That's like when you know you can't hide it. It's like when you say, "Oh, I watched the Barbie movie. I watched it." I mean, yeah,
I did.
No, it's like it's not legal, but people are sailing the high seas. Oh, you can make it illegal, but that's not stopping people from doing it. So the same thing with ChatGPT. But I'm sorry, but they are just holding off the inevitable. It's going to happen. They need to prepare themselves for it, because this is like back when, because somebody made a very good point. They're like back when assembly lines were starting out and workers were saying no.
Automation, right?
Automation. They're like, they're like, oh well, we don't want that. Protect the jobs. It inevitably happened. So you're not, even if they, I mean, I hate to say, even if they do say even if they sign an agreement and say you're not allowed to use ChatGPT or AI, someone's going to be using it behind the scenes.
Yeah,
I guarantee it. And it's probably not even going to be someone doing it in secret. I guarantee that even Netflix is going to be doing it in secret behind the eyes of the people who telling them they didn't do it. Yeah, this is going to happen.
There was a earlier point made. Who was it? It was a Outpost nerd, and you're right. It's not just the writers. It's also a lot of your extras and a lot of your background people that they want to that they want a digital scan of their face.
Yep.
That they can just reuse over and over and over and over and over and over and over again ad nauseum. Now I get it, because a studio wants to maximize profit, minimize costs. Okay, fine, I get that. But you're still dealing with people, and I'm sorry, Kat, I'm going to disagree with you. I mean, because I have read some Chat GPT scripts. They're basic. They are pedestrian.
And I've probably spent more time on ChatGPT than all of you, because I play around with ChatGPT all the time, and I can tell you it's right now it's basic. Give it a year.
It's getting better.
On top of that, and I hate to say, because I saw one voice actor be like, my voice, I do not authorize anybody using it. Habibi, I get it. But it is holding off the inevitable. It may be 2 years, 5 years, but you're going to have actors being scanned in whether they want it or not. You guys were telling me about cell phones or something where it's like, it's going to happen. The Neuralink. Well, this is going to happen, and it's a lot easier and a lot more likely than everyone getting a Neuralink.
You know what's funny is that those are not mutually exclusive events. Just saying.
And what Kilted said as well, like I DM for D&D. I have in the past used ChatGPT to just get the ball rolling. Give me this generic list of things I want, and then I go in and then I refine it. And that saves me like days of time, or maybe not days, but like hours of time. Apply that to making a movie. Okay, I need a Marvel movie centered around Wolverine, and I need the villain to be Sabretooth. Write me a rising action, a climax, a falling action, a conclusion, and then you go in after that, you fill out the details. Okay, write me a dialogue scene between Sabretooth and Wolverine to get them to like fight or something. and then you go in, you fit the details together. You just need one person and maybe 4 or 5 chat AIs, and that's with current technology. Now let's take AI art and the fact that AI art is on the verge of becoming used for animations. Archcast did a really good video a few weeks back showing how a basic AI video program could use a few random clips of people in costume to generate a very basic plotted show.
Yeah.
Or not
Yeah.
episode where you can do that. Now you take the script, you take the AI generation, give it 5 or 6 years. A streaming service will not be something that you get a movie made by Hollywood. It will be you type in what you want, and then you will get a show or a movie generated by what you want from this. And that will destroy the entire industry.
Yeah, well, I mean, and Netflix already is offering people to do jobs to overlook the ChatGPT or whatever AI they want. I mean, ChatGPT isn't even the most advanced, and I've seen it get better. And again, like I said, yeah, I get it. Right now, it's very basic. Try getting it to write about the prophet worshipping corpus, where they get them completely wrong because there's a bias. But I'm telling you, it will happen.
Yeah.
It's inevitable.
It's technology.
Real quick,
I have
Jay.
I have to say this. I think that Chat GPT would do a better job with this audience score.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
definitely.
I can't believe that they're still doing that shit. But real quick though, JV, no, I don't think you're wrong. I just think it's funny that you put that as though it were a stopping point. That's just the beginning, buddy. They're gonna get us so fat and happy and suckling on airwaves that we won't notice when they start to eliminate us.
Oh, I
Yeah.
know.
We're
Yeah.
cattle. They want us to be nice little cattle.
Yeah,
And
because
do
you
we
know
really
what John
need to talk
Connor's
about
not doing if he's got his head stuck in VR? Fighting back.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do we really need to talk about this?
Yes.
Do we?
Okay, so
Why can't
so
we talk
I-
about the books?
so
Because
better.
nobody here's read them but you.
right.
Oh, they're good.
So I have not seen the second half of the season, but I've watched season 1. I thought season 1 was very hard to get through because there was the time jumping and jumping from past to present and was with no distinct breaks to let you know was a bit disjarring. Season 2 was okay, sure, whatever. I watched the third season. I enjoyed watching it, but again, I know nothing about this world. I know nothing about this lore, but I could tell that this is Girl Boss from the
Oh, don't get me started about how fucking girl boss it is. Like season 1.
Then Shadow, shut up.
Look at all these scores though. A star and a half, half a star, star and a half a star, 1 star, 1 star, 2 star. Oh, 5 star, 1
those are
star,
white
half
bots.
a star. Like, look at this. That is embarrassing.
Yeah.
22%.
Yeah.
I'm honestly surprised that this show retained an audience after season 1 anyway, just because just coming from me who I never played any of the games. I never read any of the books. It's just the world was not of interest to me. So I sit down and watch this because, my brother was like, oh, this is really cool stuff. You got to watch this. And what you said about the time jumps. Yeah, that was a little off-putting, but that wasn't even the worst part. When you combine that with the fact that it's based on a series of disconnected short stories, but the TV show treats it like it's an overarching, through line, and it's not. And it was just like, okay, this is a fucking narrative mess.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
it's a
it gets
jumbled mess.
it gets so much worse when you realize that every single story they adapt, except the Butcher of Blaviken, they completely and absolutely rewrite it so that they can fit in their little diversity message bullshit. Like,
See, that
Queen
would
Calanthe-
require me to read stories I wasn't that interested in to begin with.
Right? Yeah,
Mhm.
like
You could actually get
the best example I could give is the one where they go and hunt the dragon. And I'm sorry, Kat, for cutting you off, but this is I love these books, I love these series, I love these characters, and I just need to fucking
No, but
vent.
but like he said, we haven't even read them, so we don't even know what you're renting.
Yeah.
I was just going to say that we can input the short stories and books into the chat, into the AI, and you could probably come up with a better script, more loyal,
Probably.
better. Yeah, because you
But-
can now have it scan. Because there's another chat that I messed around with briefly, and it got information wrong, so I sent it an article, and it scanned it, and it even said you're right, and it's updating its database, it's updating it for the updated
Cracking.
information.
What's up,
Howdy, Clue.
Release?
I didn't have work, Clue. That's how I got up here. I was actually able to show up on time.
What's up, Clue?
So
I don't know
like,
if
the episode where they go hunting the dragon. If anyone's seen season 1, they probably remember that. In the
I
book,
really like that episode.
It's very different in the book. The two foreign warrior women, they are more happy-go-lucky, very jubilant. Like they live life. They're not just stern and all about bullshit. The knight guy, he is an actual courageous knight. He is a monster hunter. The different groups of hunters that travel with Geralt and stuff, they're a lot more chill until the final conclusion. Yennefer is there, but she's not distant girl boss bitch mode. She's speaking with Geralt. She's interacting with Geralt. There's a different wizard there that she's kind of having banter with. And in the end, they don't fight together. Geralt saves her because she got caught off guard because she overestimated some people in the plot line. And the dragon is described very differently in the book than he shows up in the show. And his motivation for being there is a lot different and a lot more noble than how it's portrayed in the show. And it's just, you look at what they're doing, and it's either they didn't have the budget to properly adapt this short story, or they didn't know what the fuck they were doing. Which, if they didn't have the budget, why don't you tell a story that's a lot simpler, that doesn't need the budget of a massive army coming in to fight the dragon, of the dragon itself, of the different actors that you would need to properly portray these characters. Like, there's that one episode alone just showcases they didn't actually care about the book. They cared more about the name recognition of the book to tell whatever fucking story they wanted.
I would say that was pretty obvious on the surface of it when they announced they were doing it in the first place.
No, but you've got stuff like that. You've got shows like the Lord of the Rings movies. Yes, that is taking advantage of the fact that people loved the Lord of the Rings books, but they still more or less try to stay faithful.
Yeah, that was
to
a
the book.
different thing, Shadow. That was
Right.
a totally different thing. What you're talking about is Netflix. Anybody who's had any history watching adaptations on Netflix, and I'm talking going back, this is not like a new phenomenon. Like the injection of all the woke crap is kind of new, but the complete changing of the thing, with just the surface details, that's not new.
I know
They have always done that. They will hook you in with that first good season, and it'll have some changes that you're maybe not sure about, maybe not too comfortable with, but you're like, overall, it was pretty good, so I'll let it go. And then you get to that second season, and it's like, it's a shit fest.
Yeah. I'm
Every
still gonna
fucking
hold them
time.
to that. I'm still going to hold them to that standard. Like, just because they have a history being fuck-ups doesn't mean I'm going to go, oh, well, at least you try. No, you're held to the stand. You're held to I'm holding you to the gold standard. And if you can't meet that standard,
Disagree,
I'm
man.
not
Would you
using your
hold a
fucking product.
retard to AP standards?
What?
Would you hold a retard to AP standards? Advanced placement.
No, but I wouldn't expect the retard.
That's what you're doing here, though.
Carrie for $2
But I also
says
wouldn't-
latent gay.
Howdy, Carrie.
Thank you for
But
the
I also wouldn't
$2.
expect the retard to do brain surgery.
But that's kind of where I'm getting at. It's like you are holding them to higher standards than we know they are capable of.
Yeah. You
Well, I would
expecting they
even-
read books?
I would even go as far as you're holding them to higher standards than they even give a shit about. So
Yeah, what's worse than a retarded person doing brain surgery? An apathetic one.
Mm-hmm.
It was a shit art, Bosch. Her arc was shit, Bosch.
He's trying to get all that cotton out of his mouth.
Guilty Cajun says all these Hollywood studios changed the story from the source material because obviously they're able to do it better. Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yes. Absolutely.
Wow, he used the hard R.
What, retard?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Retard. Fuck that.
Would you
arc.
have preferred I said short bus denizen?
yeah. Kalu says the U series did that. Season 3, all of a sudden the main character is open to gay sex. Wow.
Wait, why? I need to read
Howdy,
into that
Bumblebee.
because, like, the main character, the
What's up,
guy, he's like, he told producers of that show that he doesn't want to do any more sex scenes because he wants to be respectful to his wife in real life. So, what? Okay, I want to read that because he stood up for himself, and I knew he got backlash for saying stuff like that because he wanted to be respectful to his real life marriage. So, but him to be open to gay sex in that series, that's new. I haven't heard of that.
Yeah,
I mean, I guess that doesn't
Love
go
it.
against his marriage. I don't know. But yeah, Love It says, I have yet to see The Witcher. I don't care. Game of Thrones must have burned me too much to invest in another show. I don't blame
Season
it.
8. Season 8, sure.
Yeah.
But love it. Give House of the Dragon a shot. It is a
Yes.
very well done series.
Yes, it is.
It is. I will vouch for that as well.
I mean, but
It-
didn't Sam just say like lure you in with a good first season, then ruin it with a bad second season? Especially since George R. R. Martin has
well,
stopped.
House of
working
the
with
Dragon
HBO.
is done by again a different company, a different
Right.
studio than
That's
Netflix.
it. Yeah,
Yes.
that's it. He said Netflix, Shadow. Netflix.
Yeah, he said Netflix.
I'm still skeptical. Season yeah, never mind. Let's just
Not all studios are a monolith, you bigot.
There we
Yeah.
go. Look at that. Love it says
they
I'll
all
give it a
think the
try.
same.
Yay.
And no, they don't. Shadow, shut the fuck up. What? Okay.
There you go.
Yes.
There you go. Another one.
Netflix has made some changes as in their HR and their DEI department. But have they really changed overall? Probably not.
I mean, it
But-
doesn't matter as long as they keep employing people who can't write.
Right. That is also true. Now you get someone like a Zaslav who is about the bottom line. Let's make stuff that is profitable and has less to do with the messaging. Because if David Zaslav thought that he could sell woke and make a shit ton of cash, guess what? He would sell woke.
Boosh, we only switched it to this last Tuesday. It's going to be on Monday still.
Right.
So every once in a while we make a shift. It's not going to be permanent though. So yeah. Just,
Ryan's potato computer was still sore from Sunday.
that's not what it was, but okay.
The pounding it truck.
There was a personal proposition made to move it to Tuesday, and we obliged, and then said person couldn't be there.
Right.
Due to a good reason,
Yes.
family stuff. So that's fine. Shut up, Samuel. Sam, Carrie wants to know why you're not streaming.
Number one, I was late, so I just didn't want to jump on that. I mean, I guess I could start it, but it'd come in right in the middle of the thing, and that would just be weird and confusing. Plus, I put out a community post saying I would be over here earlier in the day.
Who is Cecil? Says hi, Cecil.
Oh.
Well, hello. Who is Cecil?
Howdy. Oh, I4E's here. Howdy, man.
What's left there? Islam for Europeans. What's going on, man?
So,
man.
Yeah, no, Boosh. It was just a one-time move. We might do it every once in a while, but it's not permanent.
and
The hell?
and it's Bush. It is the backup on my channel.
It's back up on my channel too, so you can go watch the replay. So, I just want to real quick.
Sorry, Bush, you missed it live. Sorry. Okay.
Yeah, we'll make it up to you this Monday, buddy. I just want to get into this Forbes article. We all deserved better. Henry Cavill deserved a better series to lead than The Witcher from Netflix. Fans of the games and books deserved a show that tried harder to succeed as an adaptation rather than push the political agendas of its creators. Cavill's co-stars deserved another season with Cavill as the star, given how glowingly they've all been about his dedication to the role and the story. And Netflix and its shareholders deserved a show that could actually rival Game of Thrones rather than a mediocre, generic fantasy that is, alas, utterly forgettable by the end of its wildly disappointing third season. It didn't have to be this way. The final 3 episodes of season 3 are out now on Netflix, and I literally just watched them. I finished them today, and I watched half of those episodes yesterday with Jed, the Hollywood scholar, and another group of people, and it was quite frankly atrocious, and it is so lackluster. It is absolutely disappointing that Henry Cavill goes out on this note. It's absolutely disappointing without question. And season 4 is on hold now. I don't think we'll ever get a season 4 or 5 of The Witcher.
Good.
Good.
I'm fine with that.
Burn it.
We should have gotten to season 3.
Shouldn't have gotten season 1, in my opinion. But
And I think that this is going to be for us at least, the good part of this strike is there's going to be such a backlog now that studios are going to that studios can't just throw everything at the wall and hope something sticks. They're going to have to be like, okay, what's actually going to bring revenue in? What are stuff that fans are going to want to see and are going to want to see more than once?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Boosh says, I don't think Henry gives a crap. Actually, that's the problem, Boosh. He does. That's why he left the show. He's a fan of the games. He wanted them to stick to the source material, and when they didn't, that's when he decided to walk, because Lauren Histrich apparently has major daddy issues, and she can't rectify those. Also, Islam for Europeans says, I fear The Last of Us Season 2 will be super woke.
It's like the game.
Season 1.
Yeah. Just like the game.
Season 1 was pretty, from what I'm hearing, they added a whole bunch of stuff that wasn't in the game.
Yeah,
that was,
they did.
Yeah.
Season 2 is going to be more or less the second game too, which I don't know how that started and how that ended.
Yep.
Yeah. Pedro Pascal is in for a surprise. Maybe he should
They're gonna
step
have
around.
a big beefy woman beating the shit out of dudes.
Yeah, no, he doesn't give a crap anymore.
Because he's got his own thing now where he is in charge. He is the EP of it.
I can't fucking wait for Henry Cavill's Warhammer project. Like, if there was any man I could trust to deliver a proper Warhammer product in this day, like, Henry's going to knock it out of the fucking park.
Okay. I think you guys are putting way too much stock in Henry.
Look, I like Henry Cavill. I like his work. I've enjoyed most everything I've seen him in, even in things I hated like Man of Steel. Right? I like Henry Cavill. I think he's fine. I like his dedication to it. I like the fact that he's not only good to fans but is a fan. That's very cool. However, he's one actor. And regarding the Warhammer stuff, I feel about that the same way I do about The Witcher. I don't care. I'm not alone in that. This is not I mean, if it's great for fans, awesome. I have no issue with that.
Yeah.
It's not for me.
Right.
Yeah.
It's yet another fucking semi-obscure corner of fucking nerddom being brought to the mainstream. And honestly, man, it doesn't matter how good a job he's going to do. He will not have it in his hands forever. And the second somebody else takes it over, it's going to turn to shit.
Yeah. And Dempsey has a question for you, Sam.
I did, actually. And yes, I'm aware Hellraiser Hellworld is a terrible fucking movie, but it had him in it, had Catherine Winnick in it, it had Lance Henriksen basically reprising his role from Pumpkinhead, because it's got the same plot except with video games. It's a terrible movie, but it was fun, and I did enjoy Henry Cavill in that.
And Sam would know about terrible films.
I do.
Yeah, yes, he would.
Velocipaster.
Look, you like Warhammer, I like shitty cinema.
Oh, I'm not judging. I'm like JV. I'm not judging.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing what the Warhammer series has.
I know nothing about it. I mean, this series, it means, I'm like Sam, it means nothing to me.
It's
the reason I'm looking forward to it is because it is coming out on Amazon Prime, but it's not being done by Amazon Studios. So I think it has a chance of being pretty good. And Henry Cavill is supposed to be one of the showrunners as well as starring. And so I'm going to cross my fingers.
I think he's got a writing credit on there somewhere too, and as well as producing.
Yeah. Think armies of Master Chief on steroids. We're not talking.
I don't care. I don't care.
Not only that, but Games Workshop, historically, they are very, very, very picky with who they let do stuff. Like, they made a deal with Blizzard to make a science fiction game, and they pulled out because they didn't trust them. That game is now StarCraft. They did the same thing with Warcraft, where it was going to be a Warhammer game, and then they pulled out, and it's no longer a Warhammer game. There are so few Warhammer games until the last couple of years.
Don't read aloud.
They only make deals with people that they think they can trust to work on their property. And while there is some bullshit with a few of their authors being lefty weirdos, more or less they have stayed consistent to their world, and they have tried to keep it the grim darkness of the 41st millennium. What you will need to worry about is to watch the full season, you will need to probably buy 3 different subscriptions because they are greedy motherfuckers.
Look, Shadow, there's a couple of things that you got to consider here in addition to, like I understand you're excited for this. And I understand there's a rabid fan base who's very excited for this. But the fact of the matter is that we've gotten nothing but grim dark when it wasn't man-hating for the last 10 fucking years. People are tired of this. They are tired of those kinds of settings. They're tired of dystopian shit. They
but
just
there's
are.
nothing like Warhammer 40K.
Honestly, and I know Outpost Nerd said that Henry Cavill is one of the biggest names in the world. That be that as it may, he's still getting blacklisted just about everywhere but his own projects because he's not apparently on their favorites list. And on top of that, if this strike goes on, that ain't gonna fucking matter anyway.
No. And this, I don't foresee the Hollywood strike, ending before the end of the year. I really don't. I think people are kidding themselves if
I think this Warhammer thing's going to be a niche thing. It's
Carrie, Nomi's link is in my description, and she's not streaming right now, dude. So she's not actually simulcasting.
Yep.
Right.
Okay.
So
minor correction on what I said. Actually, Boosh posted in the chat I was wrong. I just so apparently they wanted to make a Warcraft game or a Warhammer game, could not get the rights. So they made Warcraft, and I think that's what they got the negotiation for StarCraft, and then that's happened. So minor correction. I apologize for the misinformation.
Hey, Shadu. I'm sorry, man. The chat's gonna ask for it. I guarantee it. I gotta.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
Well,
Thank you. That is long overdue.
Hey,
Sorry,
if I couldn't
man.
handle that shit, I wouldn't come back for more.
I mean, look. I get it. I'm interested in I'm in Warhammer and Warcraft and all that stuff. But there's a lot of people on here like probably have no idea what the fuck we're talking about.
No, but the thing is, if they market it well, because it's sort of like the Wheel of Time. They did a lot. If they had done the Wheel of Time well, it could have become popular. The problem is, they didn't. But nobody had heard of the Wheel of Time. So it's the same thing with Warhammer 40K. It's not your typical dystopian. It is just, it's Warhammer 40K. You got to look into it.
What does that mean?
That's what I'm saying. Is your average Joe is not going to
but
see
if they
that it's
do
not
a good advertisement for it.
No.
You're talking about something that's got 40 fucking years of lore in it. You have to do homework just to get the goddamn trailers.
Hold on. Let me break down so the Warhammer 40K universe is so big that when you get into specific,
Shadow, it's like what Sam said. This is such a niche.
And nobody cared about The Last of Us either.
Yeah, and
most of you guys didn't care about The Last of Us either, and now you guys are watching it. It's the same thing. Warhammer 40K, if you make a good trailer, nobody's going to care what Warhammer 40K is. They're going to be interested in seeing a show with a good trailer.
I'm not.
For the record, I did play The Last of Us. I quit halfway through because it got boring, and I never watched the show.
So and the only reason I watched that show was because I was invited. I was invited onto a panel to talk about the show from an outside point of view as someone who's never played the game.
A lot of a lot of non-fans caught on.
I don't
care because it's me and Shadow talking
about it.
No,
Cat.
Yes. Warhammer 40K does have a name.
Hold up. There are people in the chat who do give a shit. I gotta be honest. I gotta be fair.
Yeah.
South Park made Warhammer. I didn't know that. I don't know anything about that, but So, anyway, we're not talking about Warhammer right now because with the writer strike, we're not going to get anything. We're not going to get anything coming out for probably a good year and a half at least. What I do want to talk about though is something that is in theaters right now, and a lot of people have seen
Barbie.
Yep.
I had to make a Barbie shake today. It was not fun.
What?
I lost all respect for all the toxic femininity women after watching toxic femininity and
Someone-
them
Oh, sorry.
fanning over this trash.
Yeah. So, all right, let's from USA Today. So, I want to talk about this because I watched the Barbie movie today. JV, I know you've seen it. I don't. Barbenheimer says Clue. That's pretty funny.
That was, but that was genius marketing. That is genius marketing right
Yeah.
there. You took two diametrically different films and made it into a cultural event.
Mhm.
Yes, you did. And that was that was very good marketing. But I think this is actually something that should be addressed because is the movie appropriate for kids? And the
No.
answer is for me
No.
is
No.
no.
No, not even close.
No, not even close. And so scrolling down here,
Wait,
USA
go
Today.
back up to that first picture, the one just above this one.
Why?
Because I can almost see her ginch.
No.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's not appropriate for kids at all.
Fletcher says no. Islam for you says nope. Yeah, it's so anyway, all right, let's talk about it if it's for kids because the answer is no, it is not. Unless your child is why is my scroller not working? I don't know, but whatever. Unless your child is really into the study of gender norms and or knows what the term Proustian means, that might even disqualify some adults, honestly. Barbie starts off enjoyably spirited, but when Robbie's Barbie drops the line, "Do you guys ever think about dying?" At a Dreamhouse dance party, it kicks off a bunch of heavy themes that the
Wait,
movie...
what?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a real thing.
Yeah. They did talk about that in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, two things. Like, one, I'm glad this is rated PG-13 because, that's not the kind of existential thinking that like 7-year-olds need to concern themselves with anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
And two, to answer the question, yes, all the time.
So and this is the problem with this is and Drinker said it best that this was the greatest lie that was ever sold. This from the trailers and everything we saw up until about 3 weeks before the film hit. This film had all the momentum in the world going for it. I mean, the set design is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely amazing.
Mhm.
The little attention to details in Barbie world, top notch. The marketing was great. I mean, you just look, just the imagery alone, this is a Barbie film.
Yeah, which is why I knew it was woke.
No, you didn't. No one did.
Yes, I did. I was not interested. Muggsy Kids also said she knew it was woke even before it came out. The only reason I didn't say anything
Cat,
is because everyone was
Cat.
so caught up in it.
No.
There were some people who were saying that they thought there were red flags. I don't know if anybody
Yeah.
knew for
No,
sure.
No,
until-
Yeah,
it's just
there's-
common sense. It's Barbie. You really think they're not going to make it a feminist propaganda piece? It's
No
Barbie.
one
I didn't
saw that
think
coming.
they were going to.
I did.
Yeah.
No one saw it
Muggsy
coming.
did.
Okay.
I saw coming that it wouldn't be a good movie, or like I thought there were good odds it wouldn't be a good movie, but I think it was going to be.
If I can finish my sentence here.
Sorry,
Go ahead,
Jimmy.
buddy.
This was marketed as a fun, dumb, silly kids film that you could take your little kids to. That is the lie.
Mhm.
With a hint of female empowerment. Yes, that is to be expected because of what Barbie historically was. Okay, fine. You had Tom Connors, you had the Valiant, you had Mr. H, you had Critical Drinker, you had Vex, you had a bunch of in this sphere who were like, do not sleep on this film. this film could do massive. And then 3 weeks before it dropped, Kate McKinnon
Yeah,
opens
thank you.
her,
Yeah.
opens her mouth, and then the trans actor opens his mouth, and then Simu Liu opens his mouth, and then you do a little digging on who Greta Gerwig is. These are the red flags, and all of this was right. So once people saw the film, they are like, wait a minute, we were sold something else. We got, and this is what we got. So, and I have said, great. So
I mean,
now,
Mugsy must know somebody who got a big preview. I don't know, because
But
Yeah.
I didn't think
Okay,
it
so-
was going to be
Right.
feminist until recently.
Yeah.
now,
Barbie.
now, in my review of the film, I compared it to a film that actually has the same themes, but did it way better, and that was Legally Blonde,
Hmm.
Yeah,
a much better film, which talks about feminism and patriarchy
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah, I saw your review too, and I know like JV, you didn't like the movie. I was indifferent about it because I was told, and I saw reviews, someone walking out getting a refund, and
Right.
a lot of people just saying like it's just terrible, and like
Hey,
okay,
Tim.
I went kind of buzzed because like if I'm gonna go see a terrible movie, might as well be buzzed. But it takes a lot for me to be buzzed, so I was sober watching this movie, but I enjoyed it. There was parts like, yes, I rolled my eyes so hard. It's like, oh my gosh, like they had to add that in there. They had to do that. But overall, I did enjoy it because at first there was a lot of people saying like, well, it's anti-motherhood. It's like, I don't think it was anti-motherhood at all. If anything, it reminded me a little bit more about my mother, like the relationship I had with her. And I know like it's the beginning of like, well, there was just baby dolls, and we're as girls, we're supposed to like follow after our mothers. It's just like being like them, taking care of the kids. But when Barbie came, that changed the whole world, where she built something for herself. She had her dream house. Like it's just a message of like, if you're a woman, you can be anything. Yeah, you don't like if you there's women who strive to be a mother, which this is something personal to me because I would like to have like my own family, but I set myself up. I've already like career driven.
Boyfriend now.
And
I'm already career driven. I have stuff already I've established myself that I am proud of. And there's more to me that I can add on. And then one of them is being into the motherhood. Now it's not super feminist, but they did take
Oh,
a
yes,
lot
it
of
is.
yeah, well,
Yeah.
yeah, it is super feminist, but like not super hard. They did add like a heartwarming message to the mothers at the end, where I'm like, dang, like I actually love, like it made me realize like I love my mom a lot. Like I appreciate everything that she's done for her, because like my parents are immigrants. They came to the United States here. My mom sacrificed a lot to be here for me to have a great life. So it did make me reflect on that. So that's why I got a little teary-eyed. I was like, dang, I have to be more appreciative about that. So it just kind of like challenges you. I know it's like different because like you, JV, you didn't grow up playing Barbies, I don't know, your whole life, but like
I have no dog in this fight, as far
Yeah.
as so, and that is what this film played on, the emotional connection that the women your age and older have.
yeah.
And so it disguises the obvious man hatred in a pink box with a nice pink bow on it and glitter sprinkled all
Mhm.
over it. But it is there.
Yeah, it is there, but they're trying like sugarcoating it, JV. That's the best way I
I
can
know,
describe it.
but you can sugarcoat a shit sandwich. It's
Yes.
still a shit sandwich.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. But like even when I did hate the fact that they did try to dunk on men as much as they could. But anything, I was cheering on Ken. I was like, you know what? He's shooting his shot. He got he got rejected left and right from Barbie, but this is her story. But like he's gonna do his own thing of like, you know what? I am Ken. I'm gonna do my own thing. And I loved it. This is spoilers, but I loved it when he created his own world where it's like Ken's Mojo Dojo Casa house. I was like,
Yep.
okay, that's actually pretty funny.
Now,
and honestly, like, I would have liked to like hang out and live at Ken's Dojo Mojo Casa house because that
Well-
was like fun. And watching
well-
movies.
take a stab. Well, just remember this: when Barbie comes back to Barbie Land, okay,
Mhm.
everyone's happy.
Yeah.
Everyone is happy,
Yes.
and we can't have that.
I know. That's why I hated that. I was like, wait, that actually seems kind of fun. And then I didn't like the fact, like, well,
Now,
Ken, go
I
ahead.
will say this: I did legitimately laugh at the Snyderverse joke. That was hilarious.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
I did laugh
like
at that, yes.
I laughed pretty hard on that one. And then I really, there was that moment where John Cena came out and he's the
Fuck
mermaid.
John Cena.
I know, I don't like John Cena either, but I was like, okay, that's
I
a
know, but I
surprise.
did
But
like
like,
that.
but Dua Lipa, because she's a singer and I like her art, or I like her music. But the fact she's like, I have a beer for my big sexy man, I was like, oh, okay, why can't women just appreciate men? To like, yeah, Ken came back to Barbie Land, changed it, made it to like a manosphere type of thing, but like men built it. Why can't women just enjoy, like, hey, you made a fun environment, enjoy your beer, enjoy your life? That's nothing. That's not hard to ask for.
No, but I'm going to ask this. Okay, first off, I mean, come on. I don't want to be mean, but in this day and age, of course, a Barbie movie I didn't think it was going to be as bad as it turned out to be. But yeah, the only reason I didn't say anything was everyone was so hyped about it. I was like, okay, maybe I'm missing something. But it's a Barbie movie in this day and age. Yeah, it's definitely going to be feminist. I didn't expect it this bad. But the other thing is, why do we even need this message? I'm a lot older than most of the people here. And you know what? When I grew up, no one told me you can't do anything. I'd like to know who's telling little girls this day and age you can't be anything. Because you know what? I grew up in the 90s, and my own father, who's an Arab Muslim, never said to me, you can't be a doctor. My uncle in Egypt never said I couldn't be a doctor. So this whole idea that little girls need to see this message of you can be anything, we haven't needed a movie like this in 40, 50 years.
Okay, but Greta Gerwig, the real world is her projection of what she views.
No,
the
but
real
I'm not
world is.
I'm not criticizing her. I'm criticizing all the women going, yeah, we need this movie to show little girls what they can do. No, we don't. We've not needed it for decades. Ask any average little girl, can you be a doctor? She'd be like, yeah. No little girl is going, oh, well, I'm a girl, so I can't be a doctor. I'm a girl. What about the woman who died in the Challenger explosion? You could be an astronaut.
Sally Ride.
Yes.
Sally Ride.
How many women astronauts have there been already? So this whole idea that all these reviewers and all these women are going, yeah, this is a movie we need when today is a load of bullshit. You don't need it.
Right.
Yeah.
And okay.
So
and
I'm not criticizing Greta. I'm criticizing every single one of the women who are eating this up and going, yeah, we need this. No,
Okay,
you don't.
I
Okay.
steer.
It's because
Okay, Kat, JD.
because of the emotional attachment they have to Barbie. This thing plays on emotion. It's an emotional, nostalgic connection to something from their childhood. Now, and you are absolutely right, because someone who did not enjoy this film had some positive things to say on certain technical issues, but Lorena Creel, who was a computer engineer, she worked for NASA.
Mm-hmm.
You're right. She doesn't need it. You're right. She is a living embodiment of you can do anything. You can go into STEM, ladies. There's your proof.
we've known for decades.
And then I don't know if I can say her last name right because I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it, but Marie Curie, she invented,
Madame Curie.
Madame Curie.
Yeah.
She invented, it's not radiation.
She discovered radiation.
Okay,
Yeah.
she
It killed her,
discovered
too.
radiation. Yeah,
Yes.
but she went beyond because she wanted to challenge science. Like she dedicated her life to that. And then Barbie, and I'm sure they had baby dolls back in the day in her lifetime, but she established that for herself. And you're right, we don't need that, but why can't we have like a little bit of entertainment in it? Why can't we poke fun? But like, yeah, like it is definitely an anti-hating man thing. It could have been greater to make men a better image in that movie. There was a lot of potential, but I can't say anything. Well, I can't say anything, but like, it's not my movie. It's her world, Greta's world. She wants to project it. That's fine. That's how she sees the world. Like how Barbie came into the real world. Like, oh, all of a sudden I'm feeling stared at and I'm uncomfortable. Like, yeah, that's a reality that most girls go through. I never had that experience here in the States, but when I was in another country, yes, that is very real. And I've definitely been catcalled. And yes, it is a scary environment, but that's when I realized I need to, make my environment safe where I know I can be like in open space and make sure like no one's going to approach me. Yes, it's a reality, but
Right,
you don't
but-
have to be afraid of the world all the time as a woman. You can rely on men.
And-
A lot of like my good friends are guys. I have more guy friends than I do have girlfriends.
And so do these things exist? Yes, they do. Is it the prevailing? Is it the overarching, the vast, the majority of people? No. It is isolated. It is rare. Again, but this we are getting a look into the mind of Greta Gerwig, who likes to talk about female oppression because it's basically the plot of every film she has done.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just add, in addition, and what I find hilarious is Ruth Handler, and I just to double check, made sure it was president of Mattel from 1945 to 1974. So the president of Mattel, the
Right.
oppressive man, was a woman. Half the board are women. I mean,
Right. Half the board now is women.
I have a nostalgic love for the A-Team. I grew up with the A-Team. I love it. If they were to come out with an A-Team movie today, I'd be like, yeah, I have no doubt they're going to completely mess it up.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I'm not criticizing Greta. I'm saying that all these people who keep they eat this up like it's...
Okay, because you do not understand the emotional and nostalgic attachment they have for this property.
I have the same one for the A-Team, but I would still be
The
critical.
A-Team is 100% different than Barbie. Kat.
How? I have the same emotional attachment for the A-Team. That's what I grew up with.
Because you have to play with Barbie versus watching a TV show.
Me and my brothers would run around pretending we're the A-Team. I nearly joined the Air Force.
You're also using an anecdotal experience to try to justify a average.
I'm saying...
And Barbie was a cultural phenomenon.
Yes.
Yes.
It was a massive cultural phenomenon.
Yes. And now I didn't have a dream house, but I made my own dream house, like whatever
it's also
materials
got a very
I found.
long history.
Yes.
I mean, I think the first Barbies started appearing in the late 40s. My mother started collecting them in the late 50s and early 60s.
In the United States, it was 1959 because it's basically a doll that was made in Germany post World War II.
Mm-hmm.
No, Perry, I considered joining the military. I nearly joined the Air Force because of H.M. Murdoch. He's saying,
you can be anything. Yes. Yes, granted, you didn't need the movie, but you had all these ambitions, Kat. I know you've had an ambition to be a surgeon. You still have that. You still have a lot of time. Like, you don't really need the movie. But, like, it's not... This movie is definitely not for girls because there's a lot of adult humor in it. So little kids are not going to understand it. The kids that I babysit, I'm not going to take them because they're not going to understand jack crap in it. And then also the fact that there's a little girl, which is America Ferrera's daughter. I did not like the daughter at all because the fact like she was so indoctrinated, that's what I hated the most. Like she was a jerk. Yeah, she was like a total little birch. And if she was my daughter, I definitely would have slapped her. Yeah. Well, I have people I gotta be respectful for, but if that was my daughter, I definitely would have slapped her because like who taught you this? If this is the school, I have issues because the fact like you're calling Barbie, who we've said before, established that she is a historical figure. I've played with Barbies. It's nostalgic. and this little girl to come in like, well, you're the one who ruined everything for me, because like we have this unrealistic beauty standard that we have to follow to, and you like go into the corporate world and you're a fascist. Like, okay, you're in what, eighth, like you're in 7th grade, how do you know the word fascist? Like, who
I know
told you this?
she called Margot Robbie's Barbie a fascist, and I'm just like, what?
Well, yeah, I was just like, how do you know this? Do you even know what a fascist is? Like,
Most people don't.
Yeah, exactly. So that's where I had my most issues about. That's where the modern woman comes out in the young child. So it's really ridiculous on that. But yes, there's that feminist part where I hated it. Now, at the end of the movie, where Barbie's talking to the creator of Barbie, where the creator, and that's where I got teary eyed, because the creator of Barbie's like, well, I created you, so my daughter can have like a world, because she has so many opportunities before her, so she can look back and see how far her mother has come to create this world for her. It's like, okay, like, yeah, I just started crying. Okay, JT, okay, JV.
But that is more first wave feminism, which is really where feminism should stop. This film is third wave, fourth wave. It has gone way past.
It's fourth. It's not third. It's fourth.
They have a trans woman, but no Muslim woman.
I would say probably 3/4 of it is fourth wave feminism.
Yeah,
I do want to. I'm gonna play the audio. I'm not gonna show the video, but there's one thing I do want to highlight from this one thing. It's one of the only things about it I like, that in my opinion comes from what I would say first wave feminism, because it actually, the creator of Barbie, who obviously is not played by her because she's dead, but they did a really good job. So it's like 10-second audio, so we'll listen to it here real quick.
Being a human can be pretty uncomfortable. I know. Humans make things up like patriarchy and Barbie just to deal with how uncomfortable it is.
That line right there.
Yeah.
Human beings make up things like patriarchy and Barbie to deal with how difficult it is. In my opinion, that is somebody who is a first wave feminist saying that this patriarchy bullshit that has been, the whole entire movie has been clouded with. I don't know if they had like maybe an older school feminist, one who like legitimately remembered like when women couldn't vote or some shit, or like their mother did. Because that line stood out to me, because they literally made fun of and said they make up things like patriarchy and Barbie to deal with the real world. I like that part.
Yeah,
I thought that was a good part.
I don't have a problem with that part, but I wouldn't necessarily call that feminist so much as humanist.
Maybe that's fair.
Yeah,
but
because I think that's a fair line, and I think that you can apply that line of thinking to a great many things, across the board of the spectrum of human experience throughout history. We tend as a species to tell stories and to make things up to justify and or rationalize and or just plain understand the world that we live in. And that's always been the case. I mean, people used to say that, for example, and I'm not picking on you, Kat, this is just the first thing that popped into my head. The sun was pushed across the sky by a giant dung beetle, right? Which was part of the old religion in ancient Egypt.
It is being pushed across the sky by a giant dung beetle. What are you talking about?
My point is that human beings say all kinds of crazy shit to make sure to make sense of everything. Feminism is what happens when it gets taken too far. Yes. And just for the record, when I say fourth wave feminism, first wave is after the suffragettes. Okay, it's just we want to be able to be on the same playing field as men. Second wave is we can do anything a man can do. Third wave is I am better than any man at anything. Fourth wave is get rid of all the men. This is fucking fourth wave.
Yeah.
I thought fourth wave was men are better women than women.
No, that's the patriarchy swinging back just really stupidly.
Actually, that's just communism.
Well, I mean, isn't it hilarious that they don't even, there is a Muslim in hijab Barbie, but they didn't bring that, but they have a trans woman Barbie.
Okay, real quick. Which one was the trans woman? I didn't see
Doctor.
Flat feet.
I mean, if you couldn't tell,
Yeah.
Yes, the
it doesn't
computer.
matter.
I think
Okay,
Ryan's been compromised. I think Ryan
guess-
is finally giving into the gay.
It's
I-
a dark
I-
No,
secret
no.
boy.
I didn't know there was one in it, so that's why I guess I
Yeah.
wasn't
No,
on the
there's one
lookout.
in it. Yeah.
Yeah, the long red hair. That one.
Deep
With the
voice.
glasses?
No,
Mm-mm.
Oh,
no.
The doctor.
The one who yells. The one who yells flat feet.
Flat feet.
That
Yeah.
one.
okay. I'll go back and watch that. JV, I know you got to bounce, and these are pretty much the last the last topic I was going to talk about. So, JV, go ahead, start the rounds, or we're gonna take this out.
Okay, well, so just dropped my review, my final review, the final episode. Maybe the last time we're going to see this series of Secret Invasion. Thank God. I'm jumping over to Potato Revan, starting at about 7:00. Yeah, thanks for stopping in, folks. I know Ryan's not going to talk about his channel because no one gives two shits about him.
It's true.
But after the stream is done, leave a comment at the end. It just prolongs the algorithm. So subscribe to everyone here. When you subscribe, watch a video that locks it in, and definitely hit that the notification bell.
Thank you, Shadow. Appreciate that.
All right, cool. I got to scoot because I got to grab a.
Yep.
I got to grab a quick cancer break, and then I'm off. It was a lot of fun here, as always. Good conversation. Chat, always, you're awesome. Talk to y'all soon. See you on
See you, buddy.
the Monday. Toodles.
Bye.
All right, Shadu is muted.
Hey. Yeah, no, I didn't. I was muted so the streams wouldn't start going when I was posting the links. I just skip me. I don't have my work schedule yet, so I can't show until I have my work schedule.
Tell
Fucking
people where your
boosh.
channel is and where they can find you, kid.
Like that, I can't say. Like if I'm working on days of there are
Tell
panels.
people what your channel is.
So
And
we
where
can
to
watch our
find it
older
on the internet.
videos.
If you go to my channel, Shadow of Hawk, it's basically whatever I felt like making. There's movie reviews, there's world building reviews, there's gaming. There's basically, if I was in the mood to make it, I made it.
There you go. See, was that so hard?
All right, there. Okay, thank you.
Samuel, the infamous.
Real quick before I go, Bush asked me a question. Samuel, do me a favor and define patriarchy. I will define it in 3 words: led by men.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Matriarchy, led by women.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
These are old words. Meanings have not changed.
Nope.
No. That said, my name is Samuel the Infamous. You can find me on Samuel the Infamous, where we do all kinds of fun stuff, mostly talking panels like this. Got one coming up here in about an hour and a half with Nomi as well, who is a co-host, and our good friend Lawrence Knight, Abyssal Musings. And then tomorrow we've got Screaming into the Void, every Saturday. Most of the people that you see here will be on there, except Shadow, because he will be in the chat being made fun of.
Yes.
And then on Sundays, I couldn't resist the jab, kid. Sorry. On Sundays, we have Star Trek Engage, which has a growing cast. And we are beginning this week, finally, after much anticipation, with the beginning of the original series. We're starting with the Cage, and if we have time, we will go into the Man Trap. Come check that out. It's a pretty good show. It's a lot of fun. The last time we did it, we had a 3-hour show, about 90 minutes of which was just pure gay jokes.
Oh my God, we went off the rails so far it wasn't even funny. We'll review 1 to 2. We'll get to the second episode if we can get out of our own way and stop making gay jokes. That's all I'll say. No me's face. Don't judge.
Poor Nomi.
I can judge as much as I want.
Well, fuck, you can't. Woman.
Yes, I can, because I am a woman that can be anything I want.
Oh God. Well, speaking of anything you want, where can anybody find you?
Anyone can find me at Know Me Without You on Twitter and YouTube. That's where you'll find some of my older videos. And
See you,
yeah.
Dempsey.
And yeah, you usually catch me here every Friday night. And then within an hour and a half, I will be with Samuel and we'll be chatting again with our good friend Larry.
Talking about sharks tonight.
I know.
That sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Hey.
Come through.
It is technically Shark Week.
That's why we're talking about sharks tonight.
That's what I figured. Lastly, certainly not least, is the Hijabi Gamer. Kat, what game are you going to be playing tomorrow?
Probably Remnant 2. I'm not entirely sure because my physical copy didn't come in, so I finally had to buy the digital copy. Damn it. Really pissed. I don't know yet. I probably going to be live streaming tomorrow, and Sunday. We'll see what happens. Muggsy can send me a whole bunch of hats. I will be opening them on live stream because hats. And my apologies for getting a little worked up, but honestly, this whole Barbie thing and hearing people talk about it positively is like...
No, it's all good. I mean, shit. Everybody's got an opinion. It's fine. I mean, look, we don't always agree with each other, but that's the whole entire point. And quite frankly, I love it when you guys get carried away in a conversation because this isn't the Ryan show. I want your guys' opinions. I don't want to be overflowing with my opinions, so yeah, go nuts. Boosh says, bye Ryan, Hijabi, know me, Sam and Shadow. See you, buddy. Appreciate you stopping by. And lastly, and certainly the least, this is actually my channel. So tomorrow we'll be doing a stream with Nerdy Neo and Mark the Cyborg. Tomorrow, let's see. It's usually, I forgot what time it is. It might be 9 a.m. my time because I think it's usually 11 a.m. when I was in Florida. I'll have to check that. But we'll also have Screaming Into the Void tomorrow night on Samuel the Infamous's channel, and everybody's links are in my description down below on Legion Talk here. Also, we'll be doing Vets Talking tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Yeah, that's right. Okay, sorry. I'm like freaking trying to figure shit out. And on Sunday we'll be doing Star Trek Engage. Myself, Samuel, Kat. Obviously we're starting the original series. So
I just didn't know we were watching The Man Trap too. So I gotta go watch that now.
Yeah. If you want to stick around for a minute after we close out, I actually did have some questions about that I wanted to ask you, Kat.
And that should and then of course Monday night Game of Thrones season 4 episode number 8 with Nomi, Shadow, and Tyler the Redbeard, Mr. Grant Gregory, and
JD, and sometimes Lily.
Yeah, Lily. She might have homework, so I don't know if she'll be able to make it, but hopefully she can. With that said, we appreciate you guys, and we'll talk to you guys next time. See you guys.
Toodles.
Maybe I am insane. Too hot to handle and too cold to hold. See this? Right there in the mouth! Macho Man Randy Savage of the Ultimate Warrior and the forces of Hulkamania that I have seen great strides before. Together at SummerSlam. What you gonna do when Hulkamania and the Ultimate Warrior?
I'm getting your foot off my shoulder. Well, there you have it. I still haven't found.
Here's the next champion. Don't worry about Vanna White. Because comparatively speaking to the Macho Man Randy Savage, you are nothing but garbage. Nothing but garbage, Diana. Yeah. Oh, yeah!